Just for those of you that don't know me, this is Bernie Borges, executive producer of Social Business Engine, and this is Poolside Sales Chat episode 20. So what I want to talk about here today is what I call the G word. And it's a G word that a lot of people avoid. It's a G word that a lot of people consider to be kind of a bad guy and also even boring. And the G word that I'm referring to is governance. Now before you go away, I'm going to make it interesting for you. Because again, this is Poolside Sales Chat. I talk about sales stuff, right? So what does governance have to do with sales? Well, let me give you an analogy. If you drive a car, chances are you drive a car. When you go on the road, is it a free-for-all? No. There are rules of the road, right? There's one-way streets, there's street lights, there's speed limits. Can you imagine what it would be like if you got in your car and you started driving and it was a free-for-all? There were no lanes, no stoplights, no stop signs, no speed limits, no rules at all. So that's a simple example just in society in general where governance works in our favor. So if you think about that in the context of sales, how does governance play into sales? Well, first of all, you don't want to do things that are against company policy. So you have to know what your company policy is, right? You want to avoid disaster, exactly. So I like how a lot of lawyers look at it is you just want to stay out of trouble. You want to make sure you don't say something online that's going to get you and your company in trouble. So a really good governance policy, by the way, if you see me look over here, it's because I've got lots of people that are in my peripheral vision, so I get a little distracted, especially since there's people with dogs all around me and just all kinds of awesome scenery. So anyway, back to governance and sales. You want to make sure that you know what your company policy is so that you don't get yourself in trouble and you don't get your company in trouble. But you also want to know what the rules of the road are with regard to the social networks that you use, whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you're not violating, even if it's just unwritten rules, as well as the terms of service, things that are actually documented in social networks. So it really starts with the rules from your company, and a really good governance policy, by the way, shouldn't be a big, long legal document. It should be a document that explains it in plain English language, or whatever your language is, and it should explain it in a way that it's just really easy to understand, and it gives you confidence because now you know what you should and shouldn't be doing. So a really great governance policy, just like the rules of the road when you drive a car, should give you the confidence that you know what you should avoid, how to stay out of trouble, and how to stay in compliance with your company policy. You also want to stay in compliance with your industry terms as well and your industry policies. So some industries like healthcare, financial services, and others have more governance, if you will, or compliance issues that you've got to be aware of and that you've got to really pay special attention to. So the G word that I'm referring to for anybody who's joining now is governance. And I know that governance, as I said at the beginning of this, can be boring. It could even be intimidating for some people. But what I'm really referring to is just like the rules of the road in driving, governance should give you the confidence so that you know what you should and shouldn't do. And so this way you know how to stay out of trouble within your company, within your industry, and you have the confidence to participate in social media activities and do it in a way that you know is not going to get you in trouble. So that's what a simple governance strategy is. If your company doesn't have a governance program or a governance strategy, I recommend that you actually approach them and just say, hey, what is our governance policy? Sometimes it's as simple as just the communications program or communications policy or the employee handbook. And it can be just as simple as apply those rules in the employee handbook to how you behave on social media. So that's it, short and simple. Hey, for more on these kind of topics, social selling, B2B social selling, how to use LinkedIn, how to use Twitter, really effectively in your social strategy and your sales strategy, just visit our website at socialbusinessengine.com. We've got lots of content over there. That's going to do it for Poolside Sales Chat episode 20. So until next time, where I probably will be back by my pool in Tampa Bay, Florida, this is Bernie Borges from Social Business Engine wishing you continued sunshine. See ya.